I am, for some odd reason, freezing tonight. I am really, really cold. Um, there's a lady, she looks like one of the ladies who was predatory towards me way back when Natalie first disappeared. And she also looks like a lady who offered to help but disappeared. She has a name that's similar to both of those ladies, so I'm real curious and wanting to look it up right now. But that's not the point. There's a lady. Mm, I might puke. There's a lady I've been having some major issues with, and I just want her to go away. I just want her to go away. That's it. She's a hurtful person and a harmful person. I'm mean back. I never wanted to be mean to anybody. I just wanted people to leave me the fuck alone. I wanted to be able to see my older brother without being assaulted. I wanted to be able to go see my friends without being assaulted. I wanted to be able to see Mobley without being assaulted. Mobley's dead now. All of my favorite people are, nearly all of my favorite people are dead. A lot of people didn't understand when they got involved in this that it's a very serious situation and that it needs to be pointed out the safety issues that I'm dealing with. Instead of me being treated like I'm making them up because I'm trying to turn in cops, I need a friend or family member to help me turn it in when I'm assaulted. Anyway, this lady, I didn't want her to be surprised when I have a fucking flip out on her. See, she had sent me an invite to a group that she has, and she's got apparently her own YouTube channel or blog, something, I don't know what they're called. Anyway, she's got some sort of a site where she tries to speak up for the victims. Same as I do. She's a lot nicer than me, though. Anyway, I was letting her know that if I mistake her for one of these other people, I'm sorry ahead of time. That I will say very mean things, and if I get it wrong, I'm apologizing ahead of time just in case. Because there are too many people for me to remember who exactly did what and said what and so on and so forth. Anyway, she called me back. She's, well, first of all, she's on the same page as far as recording. She wanted to know if I was recording. I said I was trying to. She said, well, make sure that you record it. And, well, of course, I tried. As far as understanding the safety issues that I'm having to deal with, they wanted to tell me all this legal mumbo jumbo stuff that I'm never going to remember, which is a major issue. I do know what my rights are and what the laws are concerning a disabled person. I do know that there are universal laws that are nationwide, and those are the ones that I have been focusing on recently, to some degree, but I also have to focus on the actual abusive situations themselves. The fact that I was assaulted at a hospital 4 days ago, and, well, instead of helping me to turn it in, I fucking had a meltdown, didn't I? Anyway, I just spoke with this lady, and she got me in contact with a friend of hers. She's going to help me tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. I think that's... God, what time would that be here? Would that be God, I'm in Oregon, so I'm half a nation away. Um, what, 11 o'clock here in the morning, I think. Anyway, I'm gonna try to go to the Fred Meyers and use the Starbucks there. That's one of the few places that I haven't been victimized to the point that I can't. She did suggest the library, and I didn't go into why that's such a scary situation. I did try to explain the fear of driving thing, especially with my plates not being legal. Um, just, when there's three people talking, it's difficult. Some of the ideas that people have scare the hell out of me, so whenever one of these folks talks about shooting somebody, it is going to freak me out. Especially with as many friends as I've got who are dead. I shouldn't say friends. I should say loved ones, because although I love them, they didn't love me in return. Now, with me being cut off from being able to speak to my friends or loved ones at all, over and over again, and then me getting victimized for having meltdowns over abuse, and I've got friends who tell me, hey man, why didn't you get a hold of me? Why didn't you call me? Many of them I did. I did get a hold of them. I did call them. They just wanted to talk over me. So tonight, when I was trying to apologize to a lady in case I accidentally blamed her for something somebody else did, I explained to her that I'll try to correct it if I do. Tomorrow she's going to try to help me fill out some paperwork. As far as the Hells Angels go, which is one of the suggestions that they made, the biker thing kind of... Jesus, if I could explain that. Now, you said the same thing to me, that Rebecca Gross Nickel Foley said about the Hells Angels. She said, no, it's not the Hells Angels that are doing it. Not every Hells Angel is one of those people. She's right. Not all of the Hells Angels are those people. Matter of fact, Toby Smith, the people that he wanted me to get in contact with in California, they're definitely 1%er bikers. But there's also the safety issues inherent. And, well, the problem with them is that they only wanted to do nefarious things to others. They weren't actually interested in helping how I needed. They were interested in helping how Toby Smith thought I needed, which is to kill Ted Bollinger, and that's not okay. Ted Bollinger is a horrible person, but I'm not okay with him being made into a martyr. Just like when people said I should have just shot those cops. Well, I'm not going to turn them into martyrs. Killing people doesn't show that killing is wrong. Killing people isn't going to stop the killing. I did threaten people back, and I admit that. And a lot of people want to pretend I'm an idiot for being honest about that. But you know what? There are things that I take seriously, such as my oath to protect this nation and its people from all enemies, both foreign and domestic. All enemies, both foreign and domestic. Do I need to say that one more time for you to get it, or do you guys got it? Anyway, I wrote his number down on a piece of cardboard with a crayon because it's what I was able to find. It was a three-way conversation, which probably shouldn't have happened so quickly because I did get overwhelmed extremely quickly. but I think I held myself together very well given those circumstances. I was just wanting to make sure that the lady knew if I do go off about the fucked up shit that she did, it might not have been her what did it. Her picture is similar to that of another predator of mine, so it's a very scary situation, and her name is very close to that of another predator of mine. Stephanie Larkin just messaged me something. I don't know what it is. Hopefully it'll be that she's leaving. When I'm abusive to these people, I'm hoping that they'll get the point of how much it hurts me. That this is the type of abuse that I have to go through. And that this is how they make me feel every time that they want to blow me off or make it about them after promising to help. I know that the chances of that happening are slim to none. I know that me being an asshole to people is generally what breaks them out of the ignoring me phase, the pretending I don't exist phase. As soon as I start talking shit on them on the internet and making it very public, that's when they finally temporarily pretend to care, because temporarily they are starting to understand what I'm going through. But then, of course, when they want to make it about them, about how they don't have time, well, there's something to be said about being friends with somebody that you don't have time to be friends with. If you don't have time to be friends with them, don't call them friend. Don't tell them how to think and feel and pretend like you're their friend either. I feel the way that I do because of abuse. And that includes neglect. That is the worst part. It is not abuse that leads to suicide. It is neglect of said abuse. We did discuss a lot of things that you guys aren't going to understand unless you've lived through it. I'm referring to the conversation that I had earlier tonight. There's a possibility they might be able to assist me in getting some paperwork drawn up so that I can get myself and my evidence safely to elsewhere. Whether or not it's going to work, I don't know. Some of the stuff they told me I should do if I'm harassed in my vehicle, I've already done. I do stay pretty up to date on what the laws are. I can't tell you the exact legal number of it, but I can tell you, well, for the most part, what it says. Am I going to remember it perfectly? No, there's too much going on. And that's one of the issues that is the worst about this, is that my predators were allowed to make it extremely complicated. They were allowed to do these things. They were allowed to slander me, and that resulted in a lot of people hurting me. My friends didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to hear that I was being harmed. And then, of course, they want to talk about how they did it all themselves. None of them did. Not one of them did it all themselves. A lot of those folks don't remember the things that I did for them because it was so many years ago, and I was such a small part of their life. For most of them, their life at that point consisted of doing drugs and getting drunk and partying. Being homeless was never a party for me. It was fun. Do you know why it was fun? It's not the abuse, although that is most of what homelessness is. It was fun for me getting to see my older brother. It was fun for me getting to have friends. To actually have friends. Deanna Dog 1 Kishonden typed, you are worthy. Worthy of what? Am I worthy of help? Am I worthy of actual love? Not just the word, but the action. And I'm not referring to physical love. I'm not talking about sex for certainly. I'm talking about the act of protecting your loved ones. When your loved one is being harmed. Am I one of those loved ones? Probably not. When you type that I'm worthy, what am I worthy of? Specifics, right? I don't even hate my predators. I hate what they did. I hate what they continue to do. I don't hate my loved ones. I hate the fact that they don't love me. I hate the fact that I'm harmed often because nobody loves me. I hate that I have to go to strangers because my own family will victimize me if I go to them. They will steal from me, or they will force help upon me that they assume I need. They won't find out if I actually need that help. Because obviously, when you're called mentally ill, you are too retarded to know what being assaulted feels like. For my Aunt Mary to pretend that I was assaulted, that drugging me is assault. Well, drugging me is assault, first of all. See, that's one of the things about paying attention to the laws. My Aunt Mary is an idiot, and I'm a very mean person to her. A very mean person. But what did it take for me to be mean back to my Aunt Mary? It took a lot of abuse. When I lived with my Aunt Mary back in the early 2000s, it wasn't some situation where I was trying to rip off some fat lady. It was a situation where I needed help. And as soon as I was able to start getting an income coming in so that I could actually use my money for what it was supposed to be used for, getting my own place, getting moved out of there, getting the disability money so that I could actually take care of myself. But my Aunt Mary wanted to be mean. She wanted to do things only the way that my dad wanted. If I'm going to stay with my Aunt Mary, I have to do what Dad wants. No matter what, it's what Brian Schwartz wants. My Aunt Mary didn't stop to consider how expensive it was for me to keep on spending that money. Now, that lady that I tried to apologize to earlier, especially since she's friends with one of the people who has been highly predatory towards me, it's scary for me to try to trust her. I literally don't trust anyone, and all of you know that. Anyway, Deanna Dog 1 Kishonden. I don't know what you think I'm worthy of or worthy for, but I hope that I do get help. I hope that these folks are able to help me, and I hope that they're able to understand what a severe safety issue and safety risk that I am. Myself, I am a safety risk. I am trained to hurt people, and that's not something that I can take away. I've got the muscle memory already there. When people hurt me, I have to hold my muscle memory back. I have to try not to do something more effective. With the situation with Robert Farnsworth here in Tillamook when he decided to assault me, Most of the time it doesn't end up the way that it did. Most of the time it isn't a situation where somebody goes to hit me and I have a reaction fast enough to do something. Especially when you're doing things the way that he did it, because he did telegraph it before he did it. Usually when somebody telegraphs it, I react differently. At that point in time, I'd just woken up to him screaming. My reaction time was picture perfect. When he went to headbutt me, he smashed his face into the top of my head because I flinched. Kind of like most people who try to punch me in the nose, they end up breaking their fist on my forehead. It's not a choice. Flinching is not a choice in that situation. Someone's trying to hurt you. When I was younger, I remember some of the roommates that I had holding me down and beating on me. 2 for flinching, 2 for flinching, 2 for flinching. You know, if you'd quit flinching, we'd quit hitting you. 2 for flinching, 2 for flinching. Anyway, you know how we end these videos. Good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind.